Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I am very excited to share this video with you guys. I actually have been planning this for a little bit, but I wanted to take my time really getting to know the Vendoo platform before I went ahead and shared what I'm about to share today. So if you guys are new around here, my name is Lisa. I am a full-time reseller, and I actually have a few other side gigs as well. But I have been doing reselling for like 7 years now. I began doing it more like full-time back in 2018. So it's been quite a while now. So anyway, I have been using List Perfectly for most of that time. I think I was 1 or 2 years, probably about 1 year into my full-time reselling journey, that I started doing cross-listing with the List Perfectly app. Now, at that time, I had tried Vendoo. Vendoo was very new, and I think List Perfectly was pretty new too, or maybe it was just new to me. And I had tried both of them, but I decided to go with List Perfectly because I felt like it was just a little bit easier to use at that time. Now, since then, my needs for my business have changed a lot. And because of that, I had to reevaluate what I was doing with my cross listing. So this video is going to be a little in depth, but I will hopefully have some timestamps for you guys in case you need to skip around to specific information. But I wanted to start by letting you guys know what made me want to change platforms from List Perfectly to Vendoo. And so I'm going to explain some of that right now. So like I said, I've been using List Perfectly a really long time, and because I am a content creator, and I had mentioned, or I did have like an affiliate with List Perfectly and had mentioned them a few times on my channel, I was actually getting affiliate commissions that were basically covering the majority of my monthly subscription with List Perfectly. And so for that reason, I wasn't paying much, maybe a few dollars a month for it, and I stayed mostly because of that. Once I stopped using List Perfectly, I lost my affiliate commission. They don't give it to you unless you have an active subscription with them. So it enticed me to stay a while having that commission, but I did realize that it wasn't benefiting me in the way that I needed. So for my business, I have 4,700 active listings in my Poshmark closet. And of that, I only have about 3,000 of those listed on Mercari. I only have about 300 right now listed on eBay. And I have probably somewhere around 150 on Etsy. And I found it really cumbersome with the List Perfectly website they didn't have like a very good inventory tracking system. And I feel like that's where Vendoo really outshines List Perfectly. And that was the main reason I swapped the listing services that I was using. So previously with my List Perfectly, I was only using it as a cross lister. So I would just use it for the functionality of cross listing my products. Now I don't have it anymore. I did cancel it like 6 weeks ago. So I don't have access to show you the process of cross listing on List Perfectly, but it was fairly simple. However, I will say now that I've been on Vendoo a little bit longer and know some tricks on how to simplify the process, I actually find that Vendoo is quite a lot faster for cross-listing than List Perfectly was. And it's just because of their processes. You don't have to like wait for another page to open. And I found List Perfectly quite often would have a lot of glitches where things wouldn't load correctly, and then you'd have to go back and reload them. And so that was very difficult and messy. In addition to it being faster as a cross lister, Vendoo also has a very, very good inventory system. I am going to show you guys how Vendoo works and some of my tricks to make it work a little bit faster and more efficiently for you. But I will say that my favorite part and the thing that really enticed me to switch over to Vendoo is how easy it was to upload all of my inventory to their inventory tracking system. When I did try to do this with my List Perfectly, because I wanted to start using the inventory tracking program, I found it very, very difficult and very inefficient the way that List Perfectly has you do it. It's essentially like just cross-posting it to any other website. Like if you were taking it from Poshmark to eBay, it's the same process, but you're taking it from Poshmark to List Perfectly. And so you have to open up a new window and a new tab for each individual item and fill out their form. And it took forever. And the other problem was when you were doing this, there wasn't like a clear like checkbox of, yeah, this item has been listed here, this one hasn't. And with with Vendoo actually tells you these are the 4,700 items you have on Poshmark, and of these 4,700, maybe this 50 is not listed on List Perfectly, and it does the sorting for you. So you don't have to go item by item and figure out, is this listed on both, and like searching both sites to see which ones are listed and which ones aren't. Vendoo tells you which ones are listed and which ones are not listed. They do that work for you, and it's such a huge time saver. It makes it so much more simple. When I was trying to do the process with List Perfectly, I was having to sort my closet by, what I was sorting by was highest to lowest, and trying to make sure that I didn't get them out of order. But then you can't list in that time in case you list something in that section where you were, and it was just a mess. It was impossible to go back and fix the fact that I hadn't been putting all my inventory on List Perfectly. And the other issue is, if I spend let's say 5 or 6 days listing items on Poshmark and don't have time to open my Vendoo to reconcile, and because I list to Poshmark first, I don't list to Vendoo first. So if I'm listing 5 to 6 days on Poshmark and I'm not going on to my Vendoo during that time because I'm busy for whatever reason, it might be hard for me to remember when was the last time that I uploaded my inventory from Poshmark to Vendoo, and then I'm having to go back and research. Well, Vendoo does that work for you. With List Perfectly, that's the way I would have had to do it. I'd have to try to remember and write down, and it's just so complicated. But Vendoo takes all the guesswork out of it. It tells you exactly what's listed on there and what is not listed on there. So freaking easy. Now, the other main thing, besides getting my inventory from Poshmark to my Vendoo, which, that is nice and everything, but the reason that I needed to do that is I really wanted to have the automatic delist working for me. And the way to do that is to have all of my items that are listed onto my Vendoo and then linked with all the sites that I'm cross-listing to. Now, with Vendoo, they have 4 sites that they can automatically delist from. So if it sells on any of these 4 sites, it'll automatically delist. That would be Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop. So because of that, those are the main platforms that I'm going to be using now, which is great. I was not on Depop before, and so now I am going to be listing items on Depop. I've already listed about 20 items over there and made my first sale, which was really exciting. So I'm going to continue to expand to that platform. And basically what I've done so far is I have went ahead and uploaded all of my inventory to Vendoo from my Poshmark closet. And now I need to go back to my eBay store and my both my eBay and Mercari and delete all of my older listings, or delete all the listings that are not connected. So essentially the way that it works is in order for the automatically delist to work, the item that sells has to be connected. So let's say I sold this pair of Everlane pants. If the Everlane pants were listed separately outside of the Vendoo platform, it wouldn't automatically know that I have them listed on other platforms. So I have to have it uploaded into my inventory, which I do from importing from my Poshmark closet. And then from there, I can push it out to all the sites that can automatically delist. Now, once I've done that, it does automatically delist for you. I mentioned this in a vlog and I had a lot of people say it doesn't do it. It does. I have seen it work. It actually works as long as you process it correctly. Like I said, it has to be linked. So you have to use Vendoo to do the cross listing, because once you do that, it saves it all together and it will show you on your screen. I'll insert some clips so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It shows you on your screen which platforms it is listed to. Now, like I said, it doesn't work for all platforms. So I do have things listed on Etsy if it sells on Etsy, is not going to automatically detect it. So I will have to go in and manually delete those ones. But that's just one of my 5 sites that I sell on. So most of them will automatically delist for me. And then the other thing is, like I mentioned before, it does have to be done through the Vendoo site so that it is all connected. So if you have something that sells that wasn't done that way, again, you will have to manually do those. And then the last time, or the last like exception, is when you sell a bundle. For some reason, there's like a glitch, or they haven't figured out how to do this yet. But if I have a bundle sell on any of my platforms, it doesn't detect those. So like I just had a 10 item bundle the other day, and I had to go in and manually delete all 10 items because it doesn't do that for you. But those are the only exceptions. So as long as you are linking all of them through your Vendoo, it will automatically detect it for you, which is so exciting. And this is definitely something I needed with a store the size of my store. It is almost impossible for me to keep on top of deleting every time I sell something on a different platform. But it's also essential for me to be on multiple platforms with a store the size that I have. I have to get as many eyes on these products as possible. And in the market that we're in, like there's just so many reasons to be cross-listing, but I needed a system to take the guesswork out of it for me. So as I mentioned, I've already went ahead and uploaded all of my inventory to Vendoo. So I now have everything on Poshmark is on Vendoo. I am slowly working through the process of going back and with all the items that I imported that were, previous to me signing up to Vendoo, I am slowly going back and basically like cross-posting all of those items individually to the sites that I want them to be on, and then deleting the old listing that was not connected through Vendoo. So this is going to take me some time, but it actually is going so much faster than I expected because I have found some shortcuts, which I'm about to show you guys, that help it speed up the process. And now for everything that I am listing new, everything that I have started listing since I signed up for Vendoo, every day or a couple days, I upload those items to Vendoo so that my inventory is current. And then I push those out to the sites that I want them to be cross-listed on. So all my newer stuff is cross-listed properly. And if it does sell, it does get deleted. And I've had multiple items sell that were listed on multiple platforms through Vendoo, and they did a great job of delisting all of those for me. So it is so exciting. I can see the potential of where this is going to be once I finish the process of going back through all of my older listings. And that is where I am right now. I'm just I'm doing, all of my new listings as I go. And then I'm trying to do probably 5 to 10 old listings a day. It's going to take me a long time to get through those, but also I am selling through the older stuff too. So it's just going to be a process, but once I get through doing all of this upfront work, it is going to save me massive amount of time. Vendoo does also have a really good analytics, which I haven't spent a lot of time with. So I'll just show you guys quickly what it looks like, where it tracks what you're selling the items for, how long they're listed, things like that. So that's been that's going to be very helpful, I think. Right now, it's not giving me much information because I've only been on Vendoo for like 3 weeks, but as time goes on, I think that will be something that is very, very useful. And then let me show you guys the things that I have learned that have saved me so much time with the cross-posting services through Vendoo. So when you are cross-posting on Vendoo, you can just click on the item and that would pull up the item in your same web browser page. But then I found that this is a little cumbersome because then you have to hit the back button when you finish listing it on whichever sites you are wanting to list it on. And that's in the left column here, you can find the site that you want to list it onto. And you click that, it loads it in this page. But I have found if you press the Control-Alt button when you click your mouse, you can open up each line in a different tab. And it saves so much time. So I'll just open up the 5 or 6 listings that I want to work on all at once and let those tabs load for a minute. And then I go in and one by one cross-list them on the sites that I want to cross-list to whatever is relevant for the item. And then I close out that tab and move to the next tab. And that saves me so much time. It goes a lot faster. There are also on the Vendoo forms for like eBay, Mercari, for each of them, there are defaults that you can save, which has saved me so much time. So like with Depop, for example, they want your zip code. And at first I was entering in my zip code every time I filled out the form until I saw the little icon that you can click that says set as default. So now every time I open up the Depop form, that is saved in there. I can skip that step. I don't have to do that again the next time I go in. And for like my eBay listings, for example, there was like 8 or 9 different squares that I was filling out over and over again, the same thing, until I realized it had that set as default. And once I set those, I don't have to think about it anymore. Like my processing time is 2 days. And so I was able to save that in there. And then I don't have to push that out each time. That's just automatically going to be set for me. And once I set all my defaults on my eBay, Mercari, and Depop listing pages, it takes me no time to list now. I just fill out like price and a couple other little things and it's done. It goes so fast. I absolutely love it. And I'm just flying through the whole cross listing process. I find it so much easier on Depop. On Vendoo. So I have to say I have been, as you can probably tell, so excited about Vendoo. I figured it would be better, and that is why I obviously made the switch and canceled my list perfectly and made the move over to Vendoo. And by the way, I am paying for Vendoo the full price. I paid for a 1-year upfront in order to get all the add-ons for free. And when I did the calculations for my store size, it made the most sense for me to go ahead and do the entire year unlimited plan, which is what I selected. That allowed me to have the automatic delist. It allowed me all the extra add-ons, which I can't remember them now, but I will put them on the screen here for you to see. And it is, it has been amazing for me. So I do have like a link down below you can use if you want to sign up for Vendoo yourself. It does give me a little kickback, so I appreciate that. This is not sponsored. They did not reach out to me in any way. I actually made the choice to make this move on my own and wanted to share it with you guys because it has been a game changer for my business. And I wish I would have made this move a long time ago. I just can see how much time it's going to save me. It's already saving me some time, but once I get this set up where all of my items are cross-listed properly through the Vendoo app, it is going to save me massive amounts of time. I'm not going to have to worry about delisting anymore unless it sells on Etsy or as a bundle. And that's a massive, massive difference for my business. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this. If you have questions, let me know. Leave those down below. I'd be happy to answer any that I can for you. And yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was a useful video for you, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.